Beginning with the tumultuous Jianghu, to tell a Jianghu story, we must mention those colorful female characters. The women under the pen of Mr. Jin Yong often stir readers' emotions with their unique personalities and actions. Kong Min, Guofu, and Zi are particularly notable. They are deemed as the women most deserving of punishment, as their actions and choices often cause controversy. In this discussion, we will delve into the characteristics of these three characters, and why they are given such a label. First, let's talk about Kong Min, a character in the Heavenly Sword and the Dragon Saber. Kong Min, the widow of the deputy leader of the beggar sect, Ma Dayuan, is detested by readers for her cold, cunning behavior and for tarnishing the reputation of Qiao Feng. Kong Min invested her emotions in Qiao Feng, yet after being coldly treated by him, she bore a grudge. Her actions ultimately resulted in Qiao Feng's downfall and the tragic death of his beloved Zhu. Then, let's look at Guofu from the Return of the Condor Heroes. She is described as unreasonable and showing no improvement from childhood to adulthood. Guofu, spoiled by her parents, always acts willfully, without considering others' feelings. This has led her to make many mistakes, the most fatal being the severing of Yang Guo's arm, which resulted in the separation of Little Dragon Maiden and Yang Guo for 16 years. Finally, let's talk about Zi, another character in the Heavenly Sword and the Dragon Saber. Like her mother and sister, she is naturally mischievous, but due to her upbringing, her behavior is out of line. Zi has no moral compass, yet she takes actions wherever she sees fit. Her interaction with Tai Kuo is filled with cruelty and ruthlessness, but her tragic end evokes some sympathy. These three female characters each have their own personalities and stories. Although their actions have caused controversy, they undeniably reflect their inner worlds and paint us a vibrant Jianghu. These characters and stories also make us ponder what choices we would make if we were in their situations, and how we would view their actions. Kong Min, Guofu, and Zi are considered as the most deserving of punishment, not only because their actions have caused dissatisfaction among readers, but also because it reflects the reader's pursuit of justice and morality. This is also the charm of Mr. Jin Yong's novels. Through vivid characters, he arouses readers' emotional resonance and prompts us to reflect on our own moral views while reading the story. The design and shaping of these characters demonstrate Mr. Jin Yong's profound literary skills and insight into human nature. His characters are vivid and diverse, marking a huge breakthrough in Chinese martial arts novels. Although their actions sometimes confuse or even anger readers, we must remember that these characters attract people not only for their beauty or bravery, but for their humanity. Their stories reflect reality and complexity. Take Kong Min for example. Despite her reckless behavior in front of Qiao Feng, behind her actions is her deep love and desire to be loved. She wants Qiao Feng to see her and to respond to her feelings. However, when this expectation is shattered, her love turns into hatred, which not only ruins Qiao Feng's reputation but also plunges her into a deep abyss of pain. What about Guofu? Her recklessness and willfulness stem from her adherence to justice and love. When she misunderstood Yang Guo and Little Dragon Maiden's relationship, thinking they were morally wrong, she chose to act and paid the price. From her perspective, she was fighting for justice, but from ours, this so-called justice brought pain and suffering. As for Zi, her actions often shock and confuse people. But can we deny her intelligence and independence? Although the way she treats Tai Kuo is heartbreaking, she is not heartless. Her relationship with Tai Kuo can be seen as a deep emotional attachment, albeit twisted in execution. By examining the actions and choices of these characters, we are also reflecting on ourselves. When we read these stories, can we transcend our perspectives to understand and empathize with these characters' situations and feelings? This might be an important lesson from Mr. Jin Yong's novels. Human nature is not single-faceted, but complex and varied. We can't judge a person solely by their actions. We need to understand their inner world and feelings. Lastly, we can further ask why Mr. Jin Yong created these controversial female characters. Are these characters merely the product of his pen, or do they hold a deeper significance? This might be a question worth pondering. Mr. Jin Yong's novels are not just entertaining pieces, but a platform to explore human nature, morality, and values. In conclusion, are these three characters really the most deserving of punishment under Mr. Jin Yong's pen? Or are we just looking at their actions from our own perspectives, neglecting their situations and feelings? Perhaps this is exactly the Jianghu under Mr. Jin Yong's pen, a world full of joys and sorrows, through which we can see our own world.